Hi guys, in this video I will be showing you how to mod your Gothic 2 game. I have just finished my let's play of Gothic 2 modded, so you can see footage on my YouTube channel of how it looks like. One of my viewers requested that I make a video showing how to install the mods, and that's what we will be doing. First of all, you will need Gothic 2 Gold, not Gothic 2 with Knights of the Raven installed. It has to be gold because it contains the latest version, which is 2.7. So after you install that, first of all, you should launch it at least once to make sure everything is okay, and I will be doing it as well. If it looks weird like this, don't worry about it. It's because the resolution hasn't been set yet. So the game launched, which is good. If the game doesn't launch for you for some reason, it might be because you are missing some Microsoft Visual C++ redistributables. As you can see, I have a whole bunch of them installed here. If your game starts just fine, you don't need to worry about this. If you don't have them and you need them, I will leave a link in the description where to download them. If you have a 32-bit operating system, install the 86-bit version. If you have a 64-bit operating system, install both. Okay, now that is done, you will go to this link. I will leave this in the description, which contains all the files necessary and the guide step-by-step on how to install them and in which order. I have already downloaded everything, as you can see here. They come in an archived format, so if you cannot open them for some reason, you are missing either WinRAR or 7-zip to be able to open them. I will leave a link in the description. Once you have downloaded them, you can simply right-click on them and extract them to a folder, as you can see here, and it will contain the files. I have already extracted them for the purpose of this video, just so I can help you guys to see the order in which we will be installing the mods. The order of installation will be the same as in the forum post. So as you can see, back to the forum post, we will take this step by step. So first of all, download and install Gothic Fix 2.6, SYSTEMPACK 1.7 and PLAYERKIT 2.8. The links to download them are right here in this upper section. You'll click this and it will take you to this mega page. Here you will click download and it will start downloading. I will not download it because I already have them downloaded, so there's no point. One thing I should mention, none of these files contain any viruses, so if your antivirus will detect something, it's a false alert, so just disable it temporarily or something. It's safe, so you don't have to worry. First you will download all the files, and after you download all the files, we will begin the installation one at a time. So let's say you have downloaded everything. Let's start installing them in order. So first of all, install the Fix, the SYSTEMPACK and the PLAYERKIT. Go to the place where you have unpacked the files. This can be done anywhere you like, whether it's on desktop or in some folder. And let's start installing one by one. First we will install the Gothic Fix 2.6 Rev 2. It's in German, but you don't have to worry about it, just click what I click. This asks you to find your Gothic 2 game, so just go to where you have it installed. You have to look at this, so if you have the correct folder, look at the OK button. When you select the correct folder, it will highlight and it will enable you to press OK, and then just press this button which says install. Now for the SYSTEMPACK, the same thing. Here make sure you choose whichever version you would like. If you speak anything but English, you should probably select that. If not, just select in English and then next. Again, select the folder. hit install and finish. Next, the PLAYERKIT. Next, select your game folder. Again, if you don't have the correct folder installed, it will not allow you to press OK. Select the folder, press install and close. And that's it. Now for the next step, this is an optional step. Download and extract DirectX11. Now I have used DirectX11, but if your computer is not strong enough, and if you have an older computer, you might not want to install DirectX11. What this does, it makes the game look a little better. The view distance will be better, the shadows will be better, and of course other visual effects. But it all comes at the cost of your processing power. So if you don't have a strong computer, you might not want to install this. So you might want to skip this step. I will install it because my computer is good. Again, unpack the folder, go into the folder, download everything here, copy it, right click, copy, go to your game folder, go to system, and then just paste everything here. And that's it, you don't have to do anything else. Okay, next we have to install some crash fixes, which are also optional, but I have installed them because, well, just in case something crashes. And in all my Let's Play, I haven't even crashed once, so I can attest that they work fine. And it also comes with a 4 GB patcher, which is very important. It allows you to use 4 GB of RAM instead of normally 2. So again, unzip this folder. It will contain 2 archives, the crash fix and the 4 GB patcher, which are also archived, so you have to extract them as well. I have already done this over here. So first, let's copy these files. It says here to copy them into the system folder, and that's exactly where we will do it. Go to your game folder, go to system, and just copy them here. It will ask you to replace a file. It will be this file. You can back up it first, so copy it before installing the mod somewhere else, but it's not necessary. You won't have any issues. So just copy paste them into the system folder and select replace. Next we will install the 4 GB patch. So double click this, and you have to select now the executable in the game. So go to the game folder, go to system, select Gothic.exe, which is an application, and this will say executable successfully patched. Hit OK, and we are done here. Lastly, you'll have to actually download and install the mod files, which is liver. Are these download links over here. So the base and the scripts, you can simply copy them. Let's see where we copy them, in the Gothic.2 data folder. So we will go to the main folder, open the data folder, and just paste here the 2 files, as you can see. Now finally, you have the option to install the music files as well. I have installed the music files in my Let's Play, and I really enjoy the music, so I highly recommend that you do it as well. At this time, we have to install these files in the main folder. So unpack the archive. You will see this folder right here. You'll copy this. You'll go to your main folder. So this is the main folder, not the system or the data, but the main folder itself. Paste this, and it will just paste it here. It won't ask you for any overwrites or anything, so it's good like that. Now, after you have done all this, this is a very important section, so pay attention now. The important step is this. This is the most important part. Go to SYSTEMPACK INI and change this, enable shields. In order for this SYSTEMPACK INI file to be generated, we have to launch the game at least one time. We don't have to start a new game, just launch it in the main menu and then close the game. This is a false error, just ignore it and press OK. It doesn't affect anything. Press no on this window and don't worry about it, we will disable it later. If you didn't install DirectX 11, that window won't show up, just so you know. In the upper left corner of this window you will see something that starts to download. Let that finish and don't touch anything until it's done. Depending on your system, this might take a while. Again, this update is also for DirectX 11, so if you didn't install that, this won't show up either. The update is finished and we are in the main menu. We can now close the game. One of the problems with these mods is that the game will not quit normally anymore. So when you try to quit, the game will freeze and you'll have to use Ctrl-Alt-Delete and Task Manager to close the game. Now the SYSTEMPACK INI file has been generated and we can open it with Notepad or Notepad++. Now the important change that we have to make into the SYSTEMPACK INI is enable shields 1. So we will just search for it and change the value to 1. If you try to use shields in game without changing this setting, it will permanently bug your game. Change scale from 1 to 0. This makes the text smaller and easier to read. I did this, you should do it as well. Let's look for scale. Change this to 0. Next, disable this stuff and put it to 0. Okay. To give you more FPS. Let's do it. FPS is always good. We'll change this to 0, save. And optionally, you should change this no-take anim to 1. Basically what this does is it disables the pickup animation. So it basically makes pickup faster. I did this because you have to pick up a lot of stuff from the ground, whether it's herbs or items, and it takes a lot of time. So I prefer to have it. It's up to you if you'd like to have it as well. And change that to 1. You can close that, and with this we are done. The last thing that remains is to open the game again. Okay, so now that we are in the game, it should look like this for you. Let's do one thing, press F11 and this screen will show up here. I'll move it so we can see it better. First of all, deselect this enable auto update so you don't get that update prompt. Click apply. You can play with the settings here, but you should keep in mind that they take a lot of processing power. So depending on your computer, you might want to change them. The most important thing is this dynamic shadows. It is very important that you put this to disabled. I had a lot of issues with this setting. I have a pretty good computer, and both of these other settings crashed my computer actually, so I highly recommend you set this to disabled, and I had no more issues. Here in the object draw and small object draw distance, you can leave this as it is or put them as low as 10. You shouldn't go lower than 10. And you can actually see in game, and we will load a save game to see this in game. At maximum, I found out that I can have it at maximum 30, both of them. but more than 30 it doesn't work. It glitches out. And also some of these other settings you can change as you would like depending on your computer. Okay, so now that we have done all this, we are basically finished. However, there is still one more thing that this guide does not mention, and that is a setting that will prevent further crashes of your game. So you have to right click on your computer, you go to the Explorer, right? And right click on your PC, click Properties, go to Advanced System Settings, and then press this Settings button under Performance. Here you'll go to Data Execution Prevention, and here you select this option here, turn on DAP, select Add, go to your Gothic installation folder, go to System, and select Gothic 2, not these other options, simply Gothic 2, and then hit Apply and OK. In order for this to work, you have to restart your computer, so it's only a one-time thing, and what it will do, it will prevent some rare crashes. And with all these things installed and set up, I had no issues and no crashes whatsoever. Okay, so now that we are in game, let's press F11 again and look at some of these settings. The most important ones are the draw distance, and I said that 30 works for me on both of them. You can set them to lower, and you can see as I lowered them in the distance, some of the trees will start to disappear. If you don't have a powerful computer, you can leave it at 10. I do not suggest you put it any further than 30. Not only that it doesn't make a difference, but what can happen sometimes is that nearby objects such as this statue or other chests or items in the world will disappear, and this is actually an issue that you will encounter sometimes regardless of your settings. But 30 proved to work just fine for me, and is the same for a small object draw distance. Small object draw distances will be stuff like chests or bushes or stuff like that. I prefer to have it at 30. Of course, the world draw distance will also impact your performance a lot. So if you don't have a strong computer, maybe leave it at 3 or lower. I don't suggest you put it lower than 3 because as you can see, it really looks weird. It won't work very well. Dynamic shadow, definitely have it at disabled. If you have it at static or update or whatever, it will definitely make the game look better, but it will also make it less stable, and having a stable game is very important. The field of view you can play with if you'd like, or the brightness and contrast, and some of these other options will affect shadows. God rays look very nice. Anti-aliasing, tessellation, shadows. I mean, all of this you can play with depending on your graphics card and your system performance. And you will see that with if you have a good computer, the game will look much better with DirectX 11. So for comparison, let's see what the game looks like without any mods.
monster around.
Now let's see what it looks like with mods. Aside from the obvious graphical changes, these mods also overhaul the entire game from a gameplay aspect. There are more professions, the maps are much larger, the enemies have different attacks, there are shields and all sorts of things, so I encourage you to read through the changelogs on the forums if you would like to know more about these changes. Overall, I enjoy this mod a lot, and I consider it now essential for the Gothic 2 experience, and I highly recommend it for you guys as well. This will be it for this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Leave a like if this video helped you at all, and thank you for watching.